Why, hello there, fellow cryotube occupants. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to NEO Scavenger. Episode 2. I used to be an adventurer like you. Now on the map here, we have the little TP tent type symbol, and that is where I have a camp. That indicates that I've camped in this area. Alright, ending turn. We've got, it is now day. It's only partly cloudy, so if I open up the crafting, it's still bright enough for sunlight. And I'm going to continue scavenging the last apartment building here. And I found a lot of stuff. I found clean water. That's very lucky. So this water, if you take a look at the difference of these two waters, this water here has one water in it. Let's think of it as like half a liter. And it's worth $1.25. This water has 2 units of water, and it's worth like 11 bucks. That indicates the bottle itself is worth $1, and then the water in it is worth 5 per unit. It indicates that it is clean water. It's kind of how you tell. So because I right now I have slaked thirst, but it's dropping, I'm going to use and use. And now I've had 2 sips of clean water. Now, the other thing I ended up finding was a lot of clothing. So let's empty out my current jeans, strip down, and then pick what's best. So we've got a hoodie, which is definitely going on, but between these 2 hoodies, we're going to take the 59 condition hoodie. And note, it has pockets here. So hoodies also have internal storage. And D and A, Alpha or Delta, will rotate items to be able to fit them in. Then we can have multiple shirts on. So we have this black shirt, which is long sleeve, and then we have a 94 and a 63 shirt here, and I'll put both on. Plus the hoodie. Pretty good layers. Now as far as the bottoms go, cargo short, cargo pants. So I'm going to do pants over shorts. The cargo pants have a 3x3 or 9 unit of storage, but this one's pretty worn out. Whereas these jeans are way better, but have less storage. And I'd rather have jeans that are gonna not fall apart on me sooner, just as a personal preference. We do have a broken bottle, which I will take. And then the newspaper, which I'll shred later. And some assorted parts. I think what I'll do is I'm going to eat these ketchups, move my shards. Oops, move. How to do this? There we go, and take the assorted small parts. Sweet, pretty good loot. And now this spot is done. And then everything else that I couldn't take on me, I'm just going to shove. Actually, let's think about this. Everything that I don't immediately need, I'm going to put into my temporary campsite so that I can free up space for more stuff. So I want to keep, like, some shards on me and scraps of paper and my bandages and medicine, but basically everything else can be deposited into the campsite because I'm not likely to immediately need it and I can come back to it. Okay, so I have a lot more space for stuff, and let's get moving. I'm going to move away from this feral dog. So the current priority, I would say, is find basic survival items. And by that, what I mean is like shoes, maybe a backpack, maybe a pot to boil water in, a fire source, ideally, other than relying on the sun. You know, we'll see. Okay, so here we are in abandoned houses and trailers. And we'll go through them next. Found a laptop with a dead battery in it. We found a shoe, a right foot shoe, and a left foot or a generic foot makeshift rag shoe, which I'll put on the other foot. A pretty good condition t-shirt So that one will replace this one. Two scraps of paper. We've got a way to butcher dogman corpses and how to make a lit crude torch. Really lucky, we got 2 lighters, one in remarkably high percentage, 97.2, and the other is 48.8. This is quite honestly very lucky. Unless you have the trapping skill allows you to know how to start a fire with friction rather than like a light source or a lighter. But having a lighter, or 2 in my case, is incredibly lucky, and I'm happy about that. It's going to make my life a little easier. Now the glass bottle here can be broken down into shards and the like, and I'm carrying it just as like a shard source or a water container. I don't intend to grab the laptop. It's really bulky and sort of heavy, and I really have no use for it. So now I'm wearing improper footwear. Previously, I could move less. I had fewer turns because I was barefoot. Improper footwear is better, but not by a lot. Because I have a rag shoe, it's going to start causing blisters, which will only clear up if I get proper footwear. But improper footwear is still better than nothing, so I'm all for it. All right, continuing to search. We're going to do strong, and then I'm also going to search with a lighter. And as you can see, it dramatically increases the safety. I'm less likely to get hurt, and the loot. But it makes me less sneaky, which I'm not worried about sneaking at the moment. And we got another bottle. We got some fancy crackers. We got a flashlight, which actually has some charge in it. The flashlight itself is about to fall apart. But the batteries... Oh, no, I take it back. There's no charge. These are dead batteries. But whatever, I'll put them back in. No, not like that. Because maybe at some point we'll, get it some way to charge it. We also got some ketchup. We got a first aid kit, which has amoxicillin in it. Now, my immune system is back up. Probably not due to the amoxicillin I took, but just as a result of getting away from the black mold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the amoxicillin and the over-the-counter painkiller into the same bottle. And take that. Leaving the other bottle empty. And I'll take the foil as well. And the clean rags will stack. Cool. My first aid kit is at 56%. Granted, the first aid kit is not a very handy storage container. So I'll probably be ditching that soon. But my first aid kit's better than that first aid kit, so we're good. Alright, end turn. And someone's here to greet me. 2 someones. So here we go in combat. I will turn red for this, because why not? We have a stranger with a bow and a strap, and a stranger with a meat cleaver. Great. The dude with the bow and a strap is at range 8. The meat cleaver guy is at range 10. And almost everyone is out to kill me. There are exceptions to this. Not literally everyone's out to kill me, but most people are. So, my first move here is going to be taking cover. I'm going to dive behind the best cover terrain can provide. The best cover is low, so it's not great. But I don't want to be hit by the dude with the bow, so yeah, I'm getting down. And it looks like a compound bow or something. It does not look like a crude made bow. Especially, it's hard to say. So, I'm taking cover, so I'm harder to hit with ranged weapons, and Stranger takes cover from me. Stranger is taking cover and is harder to hit with ranged weapons. Stranger Leader tries to attack me, but misses, and they're exposed. So now we have the Bad Mother Leader, and a Stranger who is almost certainly a bad mother. One is tough, barefoot, and vulnerable. The other is tough, barefoot, and behind cover. So the one that's further from me went behind cover. I don't think I'm getting away from this. Also, I have almost nothing to lose by fighting because I've done almost nothing in this run. My approach to these runs are, at least initially, a little kamikaze. Because early on, you might as well take big risks for big rewards because you risk very little considering you are only a few days in. So, I'm going to try to advance on him undercover. And I was shot. So, stranger advances towards me, Bad Mother Leader attacks me and hit my lower left leg. So I am currently bleeding. Now, I could... No, I don't know I can't see anything, but I am going to search for targets. And do it again. And now we have the Bad Mother Leader at 5 and the Bad Mother at 3, the one with the cleaver. Now, this is where a spear really comes in handy. This cleaver that he has does not have range of 3. I, with a big old spear, have a range of 3. So, here are the things I could do. I can surrender, which is stupid. Tell him to surrender, which is also stupid. Threaten, it's also kind of stupid. What I'm going to do is just a melee attack. I don't have any other specialty moves here. I guess tackle target is, but like, I'm not going to tackle a target out of cover with a dude with a bow drawn on me. That's just going to get me killed. Melee Surge is like blitzing, but like it's berserk. If you don't kill them in a turn, you're very screwed. So it's not really worth using unless you know you're going to kill them. So I'm going to melee attack. I shredded the Bad Mother upper stomach with the broad spear stab. He's coughing up blood and is stunned and unable to move for a while. Okay, let's do it again. I smacked his head with the spear, and he has now a concussion and is somewhat disoriented. Now, the guy with the cleaver is, like, concussed and bleeding and coughing blood. He's not dead, but he's not doing good. Now, the leader, I guess, had an arrow, because now he has punch. And guess what? I got a big old spear. Bad Mother Leader is stunned and unable to move because I hit him in the upper stomach, and he is also now coughing up blood. So I'm bleeding, and both of them are bleeding, but I think they're screwed. So I'm going to stab the leader again. And I hit him in the lower chest, and the Bad Mother Leader is on top of me. So I'm going to fight him now, because the meat cleaver is more dangerous than a punch. And I got him, and he's stunned. So now, if you take a look at them, one is bleeding, fallen, coughing blood, and basically disarmed. And the other one has a meat cleaver, and I really want him killed. Melee attack again. I shred his lower stomach. He's in severe pain, having trouble concentrating. That basically means he's on his way out. But the original leader is on his feet now, so I'm going to hit him again. So now the leader is basically on top of me. I did just hit him in the upper chest, and he also has trouble concentrating. Basically, they're dying. And what I'm going to do is create an obstacle, knock over some debris between me and the leader, giving me some space, because it's a 2 versus 1. Okay. At this point, let's kill the one with the meat cleaver. I smack his left arm with the broad spear tip. He's at 4. So the one with the meat cleaver is backing off. And then the other one's on top of it. So the one with the meat cleaver is trying to run. I'm going to kill the one that's on top of me now. And he passed out from pain, the leader. So now the other one, I am going to create an obstacle. And We are... So here is the... Oh, they're both leaders now? Oh, because... yeah, okay. So I'm going to advance on the one with the meat cleaver to try to keep him at a 3. Because at a 3, I can attack him, he can't attack me. And I'm going to melee attack him. And he is stunned and unable to move. I'm going to do it again. And they're both dead. I was right. It was a compound bow. So, before I do anything else here, I'm going to hit C. They cut my leg a little bit. So I'm going to put a... Oh, you know what? They jammed something in there. I got an arrow through my leg. Okay, so I took the arrow out, which causes pain. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a clean rag and bandage it. And then I am going to pop a hydrocodone. I don't feel nothing now. Taking a look at what they've got. They've got a backpack with a tarp, meat, and water bottles. It's important to note that the meat that random people will have, for whatever reason, tends not to be human, luckily. So we've got a crude arrow and a bow with a strap. Both their corpses, which I'm just going to destroy, because, like, I'm not a cannibal and don't intend to be. We've got a left shoe. And now I'm the croc master. We've got jeans with a map. I'm going to empty out all the pockets. Poison berries. Good. Emptying out all the things. So, we have a lot of stuff to sort through now. Cell phone battery that's empty. Okay. I'm going to also empty out my own bag. And put their backpack on me. Alright, let's see. Cured meat we'll take, and cooked chunks of meat we'll take. Pretty important. I'm going to use this map. Once cheap and ubiquitous at roadside shops, these pocket road maps have become something of an archaeological tool for modern scavengers. You carefully unfold the giant leaf and try to make sense of where you are. Locate Detroit. You recognize Detroit, even if everything else in your memory is missing. As cities go, it's one of the biggest ones. You trace your route from where you are to the city. See the minimap. And we'll finish looking at the map and put it away. So if we take a look at the zoomed out map, we've got Detroit down there. And we are here. Got it. Alright, continuing the loot. So anything with a strap can be put on your shoulder like this. You have a shoulder strap there. That's where your straps go. But it doesn't necessarily mean I want the bow with a strap, because I probably want the crowbar with the strap. My dude's a melee dude. Bows are great, but I'm not very capable. So I'm less interested in the bow with a strap. Maybe I'll take it back to my camp, or whatever sort of semblance of a camp I have. But it's not really a high priority item as far as I'm concerned. If I can't take it. I'd like it, but, you know, there's other things. Alright, let's go ahead into the known recipes. And a crowbar will allow us to, like, loot a lot more stuff. And also, unlock that storage shed that we found. So what I'm going to do is craft and shred one of these shirts. And then turn the small strings of those shirts into bigger ones. Using some of my moves. I think a crowbar with a strap requires, what, 2 strings? So let's do that again. Okay. And now, if I go to the crafting menu, I should be able to put a strap on that crowbar so I can throw it over my shoulder. The other way to do this is just like this. No. There we go. Switching what type of item? So, we take a crowbar and some string and get a crowbar with a strap. Confirm. Alright, take a look at my person, and I'm going to put that on my shoulder. So now I have a primary weapon of a broad spear, which can't go anywhere unless I put that on a strap. And then a crowbar on my shoulder, which is going to dramatically improve what I can loot. Between the lighters and the crowbar, it's real good. Real good. Plus the fact that I have 2 proper shoes. Super, super, super good. Alright. I'm going to take the bottles because... Whoops, that's not a bottle. The fresh water is a big concern. Basically, you're going to want to boil all the water that you consume unless you know it to be safe ahead of time, or with the method I just explained, which is the, the price value of the water. Because drinking dirty water, you're going to get dysentery, you're going to get cholera, it's going to be bad. You don't want to do that. Unless you have, like, buckets of antibiotics. And if you do, you probably still shouldn't. Alright, what else do we want from them? So I can, at some point, come back for that bow. Let's reassess the shirts I'm wearing. Honestly, all the shirts I'm wearing are, like, high enough HP that I'm not too concerned about that, so maybe I don't need to. Yeah, I think I'm good. I'll take the handfuls of string and then rags, because maybe we try to clean those rags at some point. Pretty solid. Not gonna lie. Murder to do with a cleaver and a bow, and all I got was a little hole in my leg. It's not great, but it could have gone a lot worse. Could have gone through my head. Alright, next loot. An abandoned house. And here we go. Look at the loot percent. With crowbar, as strong. With a lighter, yeah, that's pretty good. And we pulled up another hoodie, which is about the same HP as my current. Cargo pants. I'm going to switch. These are 52%, and they've got a bigger pocket, so deal. Yep, that's meat in my pocket. I'm not just happy to see you. And then we have this bottle of medicine that I just rummaged up. Cool. Now, I've already used painkillers, and we have an immune system boost, so I don't really need to take any other meds, but it's good to have the extra meds. Now, the other thing to note is the campsite I've placed here, my initial one, is, like, basic. One of these houses, this ruined bungalow, doesn't have a lot of healing, but it has pretty good shelter and sleep. Looking around for places that have really good stats for healing, it's going to be worth it long term for, like, for survival, etc. So what I'm going to do, and this is a little cheese, is just, like, throw everything to a campsite that I might come back for that has any sort of numerical value to try to hide it from anyone who'd want it. But I don't think I'm actually turning any of these places into campsites. I'm going to be a little bit pickier and find one I prefer later on. So let's destroy the berries. And... oh, that's not what I meant to do. Bottle. And I don't have room for this bottle. I could, actually, take it. But now I don't have room for anything else. Okay. I still have some more action points, so I'm going to keep moving. See what I can find. Knowing that there is that locked storage container that we will return to as well. I haven't forgotten about that. Okay, we found another crowbar with strap. We found a rifle scope. And another lighter. 10% HP left on it lighter. And then a cardboard box, which, you know what? Let's use as storage. Now that scope, oops, I put a clean rag on my face as a air filter. I don't need like that. That scope I would like to use for magnification. So I'll do that in just a moment. So if we take a look at the crafting here, known recipes, I want, well, I'll just put it in the scope with, was it string? No, medium string. All right, let's make a medium string. And now it's a scope with a strap. And what that allows me to do is to hang it on my neck to increase my scouting range, so I can see better. Pretty solid. It is a little weird that I'm carrying a almost falling apart cardboard box around with me for salvage and scavenging, but like you gotta make do with what you got. So it's ghetto, but it's what I've got. I could also, if I wanted to, just like throw this stuff in a campsite. Well, maybe not on the ground. Throw it in a campsite. But let's take a look at these campsites. Any of them good? Not really. They're all kind of average. But I'm just stashing everything everywhere in case I want it later on. And I'm never going to remember where I put it, but, you know. Alright, there's another stranger out there who's probably up to no good. Trying to make trouble in my neighborhood. But I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. So I'm going to use the crowbar that I'm stashing here for salvage. Trying to use it up, essentially. And then I'm also using my lowest fuel lighter, because I'd rather have 2 lighters of a lot of fuel than 3 lighters of a little fuel. So, you know. And, ooh, there we go. So we've got a soup can. Now, this soup can, one of the reasons why it's important is you can boil water in it. Not efficiently, but you can boil water in it. And we also have like Twinkies or Blinkies or whatever. Blinkies, yes. French-made Blinkies. And one last search. Is that the right letter? No, it is not. So as you can see, like, the condition of whatever's left goes down. And we have good water. So let's switch one of these bottles, because this is unopened or sterile water. Got more meds. So this is generic painkillers. Oh my god, this is full of antibiotics. Fantastic. Where's my, yep. Putting the painkillers in there, because they can hold up to like 10. And then more clean rags, to the point where like, let's get rid of the dirty rags, because I have so many clean rags. I got really lucky with that find. We also have branches, which could be used to make a fire source. I just don't physically have a room. Like, I could, branches are really easy to come by. You just go to any forest and you're like, boom, you got branches. I mean, it's effortless. So if I don't have space for it, it's not a big deal. And then there is also pieces of an old newspaper, which I'll shred once I have movement left, which I currently don't. So far, so good. We're live, we're kicking, just bleeding a little bit. So I'm going to end turn and hope that this stranger doesn't pursue me. He did. He very much did. One or more creatures approach, but none have seen you yet. Will you sneak closer, or will you keep my distance? All right, chat. It's your choice. Now, obviously, the longer I survive and the more I amass, the bigger risk it is. I'm not trying to put my thumb on the scale. If you want to go all in and try to murder hobos. Murder hobos. Murderous hobos? I don't know. But if you want to fight, fighting is fine. So 1 is engage up close, 2 is engage from afar. Sorry, I didn't specify that in the poll. And I don't have the bow with me, so engaging it far potentially allows me to leave. But it's up to you. Alright, we're gonna go up close and personal, like that's what we do. All right, this is a stranger who can punch, is already in severe pain, and barefoot and bleeding. So I'm going to take cover. And he is, actively bleeding. So, like, I'm going to slowly advance on him. He's got a crippled arm. Yeah, this guy, like, I don't need to do anything. He's, like, already dead. And I'm just slowly advancing on him on cover. And now that he's within 3, he's within spear range. So now he's in hypovolemic shock and died of cardiac arrest. Who am I fighting now? The other one? I guess? Yeah. Nope, that was it. He died. He has a bunch of hunting arrows. He's got a monocular, or like half of a binocular. Which, you know, could be replace the rifle scope with strap, but I don't care to. He's got sketchy berries in a soup can. A left croc that is in better condition than my current one. He's got patchwork gloves. 2. Unfortunately, at 4.4 and 8%, they're not going to last very long, but, you know, it's better than nothing, I guess. Barely. Basically scared of him a heart attack? Yeah, pretty much. I didn't really do very much. And then some hunting arrows, which I certainly do not have the space for. Got it. What is in here, anyway? Condensed soup? Okay. I figured. Well, we got 5 turns left. So here is where it is worth noting. I am getting tired. It is currently day, cool, and partly cloudy, but like, I don't want to be out here until I'm exhausted, because if you're hungry, if you're thirsty, if you're tired, these are all status effects which will affect your outcome in combat. And obviously, I've already like killed 3 people here, so it's not like combat is uncommon. Combat is hella common. Bye-bye, destroying your corpse. Don't worry, I'm just cannibal-proofing you. You're welcome. So I'm going to move over to this tile, and maybe keep looting a little bit. Ooh, nice sauce pot! And another lighter. Lighter number 4? Like, I'm getting a bit too lucky, guys. I'm gonna just come out and say it. So the sauce pot's really nice because it allows me to batch boil water. I also got some bullets. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna leave the string and the pieces of an old newspaper here. I don't want to spend any of... Well, actually, I'll shred the newspaper, because I'll have a partial turn left, and that will allow me to move. Cool. So bringing the saucepan back to camp would be really nice. And I'll loot the remainder of the buildings here until I'm end turn. Roof collapsed, and I was scratched. So I got minor cuts and bleeding on my head, my arm, which I'm going to cover. I don't really need to cover my other arm, but I will just to like free up the clean rag slot. So I tend to do that, and because they're clean, they're going to help to keep the infections down, so that I don't have too much lost blood or trigger immune response or anything like that. And that happens. You go into these destroyed buildings, they're going to collapse on you, even if you try to do it safely. And now I have a replacement newspaper for the newspaper I just shredded. Okay, cool. So, I'm all patched up. And these types of, like, little nicks and scratches, they go away after a day or two. They're not a big deal. Generally. Unless you get them infected. Okay. I would like to I don't want to go into Zomzoms. So what I'm doing is I'm going around where I've looted so far, trying to like do everything in the local vicinity. And this is cornucola. I'm going to switch it out for one of my empty bottles. This actually has cornucola in it, which is a caffeinated beverage. So I'm tired, but if I think I'm about to get in a fight, I might as well chug some of this for a little bit of alerted, you know, to get more alerted. I'm also going to eat this small chunk of meat to fill up my hunger and my thirst a little bit. Cooked meat that isn't cured provides hydration as well. Cured meat like this one, not so much. But this is cured and will last a little bit longer than that chunk of meat, and I just want to eat that chunk of meat before it went bad. Alright, we have more scraps of paper. We also got gummy bears and then fancy cakes. So this is the stuff worth taking here. This tells me how to make sterilized water with a purification pill, which you basically never use because they're rare. This is, hey, if you have a flame source, kindling, and a medium fire fuel, you get a medium fire. Oh, great, Captain Obvious. And then the last one is how to cook a dogman, basically. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, I got space. And turn. It's getting darker. Noted. Once it's dark, like, unless you're running around with a torch, which also makes massively increases your visibility, you don't move very much or move very fast or anything. So it's best to not plan on doing a lot of night stuff unless you're gonna starve or something otherwise. So, how to make a medium thread into 3 small threads or whatever, like reverse the threading. And one sec. There we go. All right. Nothing too surprising about that. And we're just a few hops away from home, or a home, because we have multiple campsites. Oh yeah! We got a sleeping bag before end of day. Swank. That stands to reason being in this, if there's a good campsite here. So there's a storage facility here, which we could camp in, which might be ideal for tonight, other than like the woods. Probably will stay here tonight and then slowly move our stuff from where we were to here. It's not a bad idea. We could also go around and collect everything and sort of assess, but like ultimately, a campsite which offers green bars across the I mean, the sleeping bag's doing a lot of the work, but green bars across the board are pretty decent. A storage container isn't the best, but like it, you know, there's worse. Okay, and there's 2 more places to search, which might increase our chance to find even better shelter. So we got blinkies, catch up, another newspaper, and lots of string. And I'll search the last place and then pick the best of them all as a night shelter. So, yep, this is still the only campsite, I think. Despite the fact that we searched other homes and whatnot, because the other ones are just like a place in the woods. So let's go ahead and do it. Make this 5x10 unit, storage unit, our campsite for tonight. Now what would be nice, so at the moment I'm pretty comfortable. I'm wearing a lot of layers, which means I'm not at a high risk of hypothermia. So I don't really need a lot of fire. But tomorrow, I might want to boil some of this water because I'm going to get... I have 2 units of clean water. And I'm going to use them, one of the 2 now, to top up my thirst. Because while you sleep, obviously, you deplete your water. And then let's go ahead and move most of this stuff to campsites. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty out pills, stack them, and consolidate some of my my pill bottles. So I have like one pill bottle of like painkillers and antibiotics, and the other pill bottle of like leftover pills. So that I only need one bottle for like the painkillers and antibiotics rather than 2 bottles, right? This helps. I'm going to do the same with lighters. Put my nicer lighters away. Put my Coca-Cola. Basically, everything that I don't immediately need on me, put away. At some point, I should probably like eat that soup so I can... Well, I don't even need to eat the soup because I have a metal saucepan, I just realized. These are different. Well, I don't know, whatever. All right, let's dump everything. I'm gonna keep the bottles on me so I can go fetch water in the morning. Keeping the recipes and scraps of paper just in case. The scraps of paper can be useful if you want to like quickly... The scraps of paper, for whatever reason, can make a spear. And the shards can make a spear. So I can go to the forest with scraps of paper, a shard, and just like make a new broad spear. Which is why I keep them on. And the recipes are just nice to have on you at all times for other reasons. Yeah. I am... not going to contest that I'm getting really lucky, which is really good because I'm not great at this game, so, like, lots of luck is fantastic. Thank you for tuning in to NEO Scavenger, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I am not, however, looking for feedback or tips. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow survivors.